We're going to start with one of the first problems that we talked about last week, which was the black box application. And just to clarify kind of what that is for everybody, I think a lot of our listeners and watchers will already know. But that's when you come into an organization and it's got an old legacy system, and actually a lot of people that set that up in the business are no longer there. Nobody's documented what the system is and where anything is. So it's just a black box. Huge issue when you want to innovate. Just talk us through your approach to getting over that black box problem.
Yeah, certainly. And I think what we find when we go into organisations, people will know what a system is doing, what the inputs are to it, what the outputs, but don't know how it's doing it, or maybe even why it's doing that. So people get away with that and they almost treat that as the legacy system, and over time they drive extra business value around it without really changing it. They might do security updates to it or, regulatory change to it, but they will really shy away from doing business change to it. So over the years, the lack of understanding of that increases, and any change for that is seen as riskier and riskier. So that was one of the reasons why we said that you've got to take a serious look at legacy modernisation and legacy migration to new systems. But what it drives as well is when you do that, you've got to tackle this problem. You can't just migrate a system that you don't really know how it's doing something and why it's doing it. You've got to understand what's in that box, not just how you're interacting with that box. And what we see a lot of organisations strive to do with legacy modernisation is automate taking the code from the old technologies to the new technologies. And that automation ends up kind of working on the entire code base. So you end up taking all of that black box functionality and almost keeping it as black box functionality in the new system without really understanding, is it doing the right things? Is it structured in the best way for the business? So we think this is one of the key success factors. First success factors is opening that box, understanding what's in it, trying to identify which of that logic is crucial to your business, which of that logic was only implemented because it needed to because of the way the system was implemented, what is redundant and no longer needed, and trying, rather than just taking all of that code and rewriting it, understanding, what you really need, what is the gold dust in that system that really reflects your business. We actually see it quite like archaeology. If you're going and doing archaeology to try and find out and learn from the past, you would dig things up and then you would tidy them up and you try and understand, well, what is the lineage of this and why was it, in that place and why did it look like this? So we see that any automation, the first thing it needs to do is it abstracts out from that black box the key business logic, the key rules, the key processes from that, and try and document that in a way that can be moved across to a new architecture, a new technology. In my experience, any full code-based migration, is fraught with issues and ultimately ends up with challenges.
Okay, so ultimately we're saying do the groundwork, see what's under the bonnet, and that's a starting point, right? That's the answer to this problem, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And don't trust that if you're going to build something on a new technology, you can just take the code base and run it like that on the new technology. This is adding processing power to the problem. It's about realigning and remapping those systems to what your current business needs are. And you can't do that in an automatic migration. You need to do that by understanding what the rules and what the values are from that system.